Coming up now in a very unfortunate breaking news edition of your spoiler-free wrestling news rundown, some serious allegations have been levied against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE in a new lawsuit filed on Thursday. Here's everything that we know about it. Okay, so up on your screen now is a copy of the lawsuit that was filed on Thursday in the District Court of Connecticut. The plaintiff is Janelle Grant, who was formerly a WWE employee from 2019 until early 2022. Grant is also the former WWE employee whose secret $3 million settlement with McMahon led to him being investigated by the WWE Board of Directors in 2022. So the lawsuit alleges that Grant felt pressured into having a sexual relationship with McMahon due to threats that he would use his legal resources against her if she did not. And the sexual demands that McMahon would make grew increasingly depraved throughout her employment with the company. It is also alleged that she was expected to engage in sexual encounters with John Laurinaitis during her employment. It is also alleged that McMahon promised a sexual encounter with Grant to a WWE wrestler while negotiating a new contract with that wrestler. The Wall Street Journal is reporting the wrestler in question is Brock Lesnar. So it was a 67-page filing. As I said before, many graphic accusations and descriptions are contained within the lawsuit. There was this statement as part of the filing that reads, "Through all this trauma, Miss Grant has endured profound suffering and silence, feeling of exploitation, loss of security, and the fear of facing the wrath of WWE and McMahon's armies of attorneys if she were to come forward and bring to light the egregious acts detailed herein. That time has passed, and Miss Grant seeks to hold defendants accountable for their reprehensible and unlawful acts for her own sake and for others." So the lawsuit covers how Grant and McMahon met and what led to Grant becoming an employee at the company. So Grant and McMahon met in 2019 while McMahon was living in a penthouse that was in Grant's apartment building. At the time, Grant says she was struggling financially as a result of caring for her elderly parents. McMahon befriended Grant, giving her hopes of a new life with promises of a yet-to-be-determined role at WWE. So a lot of the allegations stem from McMahon promising a job with WWE and initiating physical encounters with the plaintiff. McMahon would schedule meetings with Grant to speak about possible job opportunities, and at one such meeting, he greeted her in only his underwear. There's similar examples given that took place before she was offered a job with WWE. He invited her to a meeting to discuss employment. So this is all allegedly, of course. He began massaging her lower back. She was eventually given the role as administrative coordinator on June 17th, 2019. And McMahon warned Grant to keep their closeness a secret, stating he has world-class legal resources on speed dial to deal with people who became a problem. So the lawsuit really reads that this is a story of she had nowhere to go. It was either be in this physical relationship with Vince McMahon and be employed by WWE at the same time, or face the wrath of McMahon's legal resources. So the lawsuit continues that beginning in March 2020, McMahon began sharing sexually explicit pictures and videos of Grant with people inside and outside the company. It was also mentioned that one of these people that the images and video were shared with was a former UFC heavyweight champion. Like, that's what it says in the lawsuit. It was like, well, there's only one former UFC heavyweight champion in the company, so they were also shared with a WWE referee, according to the lawsuit. So, so up on your screen now, I don't even want to read this to you, but this is a section of the lawsuit. And like I said, these get very graphic, very disturbing. So up on your screen now is a part of a section of this lawsuit that describes the plaintiff, Miss Grant, suffering physical injuries, including bleeding and pain from the forceful use of sex toys. Despite Miss Grant's pleas to cease any further sexual activity, the number of sexual encounters increased, as did McMahon's physical aggression during them. Notably, McMahon was most aggressive when using the certain sex toys named after male WWE wrestlers and performers. McMahon named the sex toys so that the color of the toy matched the race of the wrestler. Oh my freaking God. This is awful, awful stuff. Um, the lawsuit also contends that McMahon had Grant sent to a celebrity doctor who it's not clear if they had any medical training or anything, and she would have hour-long appointments that included deep dives into her personal and work life. She also requested to work with the XFL full-time in 2020, but she had that request denied. In May 2020, she there is an allegation that during a threesome that also included McMahon's physical therapist, that McMahon is alleged to have defecated on Grant. He is also alleged to have forced himself on her in the WWE offices. McMahon began directing Grant to have sexual encounters with Laurinaitis before the start of workdays. She was also expected to engage in sexual activity while at work during working hours. And she was officially reassigned to work under Laurinaitis beginning in January 2021. And she was officially assigned to talent relations a couple months later. Okay, and so this is the part in the lawsuit where it is alleged that McMahon used a sexual encounter with Grant as part of a contract offer to a WWE wrestler that the Wall Street Journal has named Brock Lesnar. This is from the lawsuit. It says, in the days that followed, this was in the days that followed McMahon giving the wrestler Grant's phone number. In the days that followed, WWE superstar, who we believe is Brock Lesnar, revealed a fetish to Miss Grant and tested McMahon's promise that Miss Grant would do anything with a request that she send a video of herself urinating. In December of 2021, Grant used the weather and COVID-19 as an excuse to back out of a planned meeting with this wrestler. And it was shortly after that that McMahon informed Grant that his wife had learned of their relationship and that Grant would need to leave the company as a result. However, she first needed to sign an NDA. Grant says that she agreed to sign the non-disclosure agreement in exchange for payments, which McMahon later stopped making. And in the Wall Street Journal report that came out last year regarding this case, it was said that she was paid $3 million in hush money. However, in this lawsuit, it says that McMahon stopped making the payments. It continues in March 2022. Even though she had left the company, McMahon contacted her in an attempt to have her meet with a WWE star who would be in New York for a live event. As it concerns the internal probe that WWE launched into the allegations against McMahon, that probe concluded in November 2022. Grant and her lawyers say that that internal probe was a sham. She says she made it known that she was willing to participate in the investigation, but she says she was never contacted by the company regarding it. So, pretty serious allegations. Allegations, of course, of a criminal manner. In addition to the lawsuit that's been filed. So, this is a pretty big story. This is a huge story. Of course, Vince McMahon doesn't appear to have any real power with WWE, although he does have a role with TKO. How this is going to impact that, very much unclear. We will have a new video up as soon as we've got new information regarding this. Just make sure that you are subscribed and you click the notifications bell so you are notified when we have new information. Thanks very much.